you so much, ma'am, for that kind introduction. To our Honorable Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Isagani S. de la Cruz, SESO 5, our esteemed school head, Ma'am Mati B. Napoles, Principal 2, our distinctive assistant to the principal, Sir Jose F. Desilio Jr., HD 3, dearest faculty and staff of Fatima National High School, beloved parents and guests, most especially our cherished completers, whose victorious moment we celebrate today. Kaninyong tanan, maayong buntag. It is such an honor and privilege to see all of you this morning, our dear completers, in your moving up ceremonies. Years ago, I was just like you, standing before the graduation stage, waiting to receive my diploma and awards as graduate, nervous, excited, and happy. Nothing compares to the immensity of fulfillment you feel when you stand in your moving up day, looking back at how long has the journey been, how charged with difficulties the years were, how much you've endured along the way, and how you have impressively claimed victory in the end. Just like you, I was a student of Fatima National High School, an alumna as it is properly called. I've endured and enjoyed the same hot, dusty, and golden place. Just like you, I have overcome a lot of challenges to reach the goal. And just like all of you, I have dreamed big dreams. My name is Sarah May Duran Consolacion. I am the eldest daughter of Leonardo Consolacion and Marites Duran. I have 3 younger brothers, Louis, Dave, and Deo. Before me and my 2 younger siblings became professionals, my parents would almost often find it difficult to make both ends meet. We were a poor family. My father then works as a porter in the General Santos City Airport, and my mother is a teacher at Fatima National High School. The family's income would often not suffice to sustain the family's essential needs, as well as the school requirements of 3 children who were then studying at the same time. I have experienced going to school without allowance, lining up in the PTA to show a promissory note just so I can take the exam, like most of you have experienced, and having limited budgets for projects and requirements in school. Yet, through hard work, tenacity, and my parents' support, I graduated high school with flying colors. This narrative would continue and get even more difficult in college. Back then, me and my brother are both studying in MSU. I didn't know how my parents did all the magic in affording all our tertiary educational expenses. But one good thing I think is that our home back then lies near MSU. Hence, we can just walk from campus to home and home to campus when budget is tight. Life then was difficult, but it did not stop me to persevere and engage in endeavors which would later on pave the way for me to consider taking up law and eventually become a lawyer. It was such a blessing when I eventually became a registered professional teacher and landed a permanent job in DepEd. I was given a plantilla position as teacher in Fatima National High School, my very alma mater. God has graced me the capacity to help my family have a better life. Also, He blessed me with a chance to follow greater pursuits should I want it. Let me tell you now a secret. It was never my dream to become a lawyer. Never had I thought of myself becoming a lawyer. But God is full of surprises. When I was already a teacher at Fatima National High School, all I wanted to do next is pursue a path which will make best use of my talents and gifts. I can speak, I love to write, and I love logic. I was blessed with these things, but I didn't know exactly the path. Unexpectedly, God blessed me with people who helped me discern the way. I have met good friends who were pursuing law and found a resonance with the path they are pursuing with the gifts that I have. When I eventually felt I wanted to become a lawyer, I told my mentor, friend, and spiritual advisor, Sister Mary Gabriel CP, about it. She told me to think it over, and she gave me a book to read. It was The Hobbit, which has eventually become my favorite book. She didn't say go or no, because according to her, that is for me to decide. She only told me to discern it. So I thought about it for 2 long years. Yes, it took me that long to decide whether or not to take up law. When I finally decided I would give it a try, I know I am ready for the long haul because I've thought about it well. Ladies and gentlemen, especially my dear completers, allow me then to take today as an opportunity to share to you 4 golden and priceless lessons life has taught me along the way. First, there are many different paths. Choose the path that will make best use of your gifts and help you achieve your full potential as a person. Standing here before you now, I would say that I am extremely grateful for having pursued law. This path has shown me how I can sharpen my skills so that I can become the best version of myself. Also, it has shown me how my abilities can be used to help others, especially those in need, and contribute to the society to make it a better place. Finally, I have seen myself evolve intellectually, emotionally, and in character. All these have been because I have pursued a path that best fit who I am. Now, there are many different paths. Mine is different from yours, or they could be the same altogether, who knows? But how do you know exactly which path to take? This is a question which most of you, dear completers, are pondering on in this stage of your life. After high school, what career path should you take? Well, there is no one-size-fits-all answer to this inquiry. But from how I figured it out, I think the steps to knowing which path are not so complicated at all. First, look inside you. What are your interests, talents, and gifts? Second, look outside. How can you use those gifts to achieve your full potential as an individual, attain fulfillment out of it, and contribute to the world through it? When you discerned and figured out those things, the path will be visible. Second, the path you will take will be difficult before it becomes easy. When you dream big and hope to become someone you are not, you have to be ready for challenges. My journey to becoming a lawyer was never ever easy. It was an investment of blood, sweat, and tears. I have honestly asked myself a lot of times, ano ba kasing pinaglalaban ko sa buhay? Bakit ako andito? Ang dali naman sana ng buhay ko kung hindi ako nag-law. But you see, these challenges are integral in the journey because they are bound to test your character. They are bound to assess whether or not you are worthy to become the person you aspire to be. Perhaps the most difficult challenge I faced in my journey to becoming a lawyer is during the bar exams. Before I was able to take the bar, the pandemic hit. I was made to wait for 2 long years again. because the pandemic has made it impossible to conduct the bar exams. When it was eventually my time to take the bar, I tested positive for COVID. It was one heavy, trying, and disappointing time for me and my family. But it was a wonder that despite the delay and all the amendments in the law during the interim, I remained optimistic that I'd be able to make it. But true enough, when I eventually took the bar last November 2022, I made it in one try by God's grace. Had I given up easily and succumbed to dismay, I wouldn't have become a lawyer today. The storm was one great test of character, and I was a totally different person coming out of it. It was an experience that has greatly shaped and prepared me for the real world that is waiting ahead. It is not an easy thing being a lawyer, and in order to accomplish great feats, you will always need great character. Therefore, my dear completers, be brave when you eventually walk on the path. You will be challenged, but they are meant to shape and prepare you. The person who you want to become years from now is a totally different person from who you are right now. Thus, there will be lots and lots of sharpening. Remember that you are allowed to be scared, confused, and disheartened. But hold on tightly to your dream and let it guide you. When you eventually emerge out of the battle, you will be proud of yourself for not giving up. You will be grateful of the trying times because you will realize that they are the most important parts of the journey, since they shaped you to become the person that you want to be. Third, your circumstances now will not determine whether or not you will be successful. As I told you previously, I was born poor. Pursuing law is often said to be a rich kid's dream because it is expensive. True enough, it is. But being poor did not hinder me to realize my goals. For me, being successful is always a choice. It is always up for you to decide. Therefore, if you are born poor, I urge you to dream big and be really passionate about it. When you are poor and have big dreams and are really passionate about it, you will do everything you can to achieve it. Perhaps you will consider being a working student like I was back in law school. You can perhaps do business or even side hustles. You will be creative in the attainment of your goals because you want it so badly. Finally, you will think 1,000 times before prioritizing hooking up because your hopes for the future are bigger than just that. I tell you, my dear completers, you can become anyone who you hope to be. There is no limit to dreams except yourself. Fourth and last, no one gets to be successful alone. You will always need people to help you reach your goals. When I pass the bar, I have been posting a gratitude list in Facebook, and it's called my Get That Bar Gratitude List. I am yet on the 16th on the list out of 22, and I intend to post it in Faces. So I will get reminded of everyone who have helped me reach my dream. I didn't do it alone. It took a whole community to make a lawyer out of me. Allow me therefore to thank those who are here, who have been a huge part of who I am now. First, my parents and family who have ever been supportive of me every step of the way, especially during the bar exams. My mama is here with us today. So ma, thank you so much po. Second, all my subject teachers in high school, who I can no longer mention one by one because medyo marami po, but know that I am deeply grateful for all of you ma'ams and sirs for shaping me into the person that I am now. My advisors in high school, Ma'am Concepcion Hongoy for first year, ma'am, Ma'am Annalisa Seniel for second year, Ma'am Belen Pito for third year, and Ma'am Cindy Asahan for fourth year. Thank you so much po, dear teachers, for all your guidance and for believing in my abilities as a student. To all of you, my dear colleagues, who have been supporting me morally since day one, thank you especially to my colleagues in the science department, especially Ma'am Jampi, Sir Ryan, Sir Jairus, and Sir Albert, who has now resigned to pursue his dream to become a medical doctor. Thank you so much po for all your considerations and for voluntarily sharing with my task when I get too busy because of law school. Also, thank you to my colleagues in grade 8 curriculum, particularly to Ma'am Yali, Ma'am Jeanette, Ma'am Jessa, Ma'am Flor, Ma'am Jackson, Mayo, Ma'am Ems, Ma'am Grace, Ma'am Jonna. They are my grade 8 office mates. Thank you most especially to Ma'am Helen Lagcao, our dear grade 8 curriculum head, who has become a second mother to